I posted a video that was called How I Lost 4 kg in 7 weeks. And this was just before I finished the challenge, and I was talking about how I lost 4 kilos, and I was trying to lose 4 kilos in 8 weeks. I did it in 7, so I just went to maintenance for the last week, and someone put me losing 5 kg in 3 weeks. Like, kind of like, hey, I beat you. I lost 5 kilos in 3 weeks. You only lost 4 in 7. And the reason I bring this up is because fat loss is not a race. And just because this person lost an extra kilo 4 weeks faster than me doesn't mean that their diet was more successful, because it turns out I wasn't trying to lose as much weight as possible. I was going for 4 kilos in 8 weeks. And this is why it's important to set goals, especially when you're pursuing fat loss. Because if you are just starting a fat loss phase and you're just going, I'm just going to lose as much weight as possible, and that's it, then you have no finish line, and you're just going to keep going and keep going and keep going. And that can be okay for some people, but if you have a goal, you know when to stop. Like I did. I was like, I'm losing 4 kilos and that's it. So I was trying to do it in 8 weeks. That is around half a kilo per week. That was my goal. Half a kilo, that's about £1 a week. Nothing impressive, something very slow, very easy. I didn't really feel like I was dieting. I did have to sacrifice, extra calories to get into that calorie deficit, but I didn't find it too tough. I wasn't struggling. My training was still okay. I did feel it by the end of the 8 weeks, but overall, the diet was like a 9 out of 10. I felt okay. And I traveled. I ate out. I ate out with my wife and my daughter, which I really enjoy. We traveled to Gold Coast to go to a wedding. Even at a wedding, I was dieting. I was going through it. And I think the reason that I lost a little bit too much weight was because I went to the wedding. And at the wedding, I was just being a bit cautious, because you don't really know what's in the food there. You don't know if they use oil, they used a ton of butter, all that kind of stuff. So I think I was a bit more on the reserve side. So when I came back from that wedding, I think I may have lost a little bit of extra weight, which put me ahead of schedule by 500 grams. So I was like, stuff it. I've lost 4 kilos this last week. Instead of trying to lose 4.5 or 5 kilos and double down, I'm just going to go at maintenance. And then this person's like, well, yeah, I lost 5 kilos in 3 weeks, man. What's up? What's up with you, man? I thought you were a personal trainer. I thought you knew what you were doing. But it's not a race. It doesn't mean that you're better than me. Set goals. It's important to know where you're going to stop, because a calorie deficit is not where the best training lies. It's not where the best productivity lies. It's not where the best place to build muscle is. It's a means to an end. It's a place to lose body fat. Like I always say, calorie deficit, you get in and you get out. And as soon as you hit your goal, you get out. And if you don't get out, you're going to be there forever. You're going to stay in a calorie deficit, and you're going to be like these people that have come to me in Team Brock Ashby and been coached by me, and they're just stuck on low calories. They don't know what to do. And they got into a calorie deficit and they lost some weight, and they just stayed there because there was no real goal. They just wanted to lose weight. I just want to lose weight. So you just do the same thing, and you just keep repeating it, and then you just end up on these low calories, and you're not even losing weight anymore. You get into a calorie deficit, you hit your goal, and then you get out. Don't worry about what other people say. Oh, I'm losing more weight than you. Oh, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? No, just stick to your goal, get into your calorie deficit, and then when you hit it, you get out. If you don't hit your goal, then that's another conversation. Maybe your method wasn't correct. Maybe it wasn't the perfect time for you to start dieting. Maybe you had to bring up your calories first, build up your metabolism, actually build some muscle, and then go into a fat loss phase. Maybe that needed to happen for you. But just because you lose more weight than someone else doesn't mean that you're better than that person. Like this person kind of, hey man, lost way more weight than you. Because there's so many things with fat loss that are nuanced. If this person lost 5 kilos in 3 weeks, but they had that much weight to lose, then that's fine. I was only 92 kilos pretty much when I started. But if someone started at 150 kilos, 5 kilos in 3 weeks, yeah, you should have lost that much because you have that much to lose. But for someone that's 60 kilos, if you're losing 5 kilos in 3 weeks, that's too much. That's way too fast. That's unsustainable for most people. So don't compare apples to bananas. Don't compare your fat loss to someone else's fat loss, because everyone's journey is different. I chose on purpose to lose fat slow. I can lose fat fast. 100%. I know how to do it. I can jump into an aggressive calorie deficit. But you know what? It sucks. And I don't do well on extreme calorie deficits. I know that about myself. I can't really push it. I like slow and steady. I have the patience. I'd rather just feel like I'm not dieting that much. It's not that hard. It's pretty easy. And I can just sustain that for a very long amount of time. I would rather take, 12 weeks to diet as opposed to hitting that same amount but in 6 weeks. But it's harder. I'd rather it be easier for longer, because that's how I diet. If I struggle too much in my diet, I give up. And I'm like, my training sucks. My energy sucks at jiu-jitsu. I'm thinking about food all day. I'm not happy to be around. When I'm hungry, ask my wife. It's not good. I don't want to be that person. So I don't do it. I take the long road. But I can handle that. And I know what I'm getting myself into. And some people like that short, aggressive calorie deficit, like bang, harsh. I'm just going to cut 1,000 calories a day. And they handle it and they do it. And they seem to be able to train pretty fine. That strategy, in my opinion, is better for people that carry more body fat, because body fat is muscle sparing. Your body's going to tap into your fat stores more so than your muscle mass if you have a lot of body fat. So if you're overweight, even if you're obese, you can probably handle that aggressive calorie deficit at the start because you have a lot of fat to burn. But if you are leaner like myself, I wouldn't class myself as overweight, even though my BMI says I'm obese. Ignore that if you lift and you have a decent amount of muscle. The BMI is more for people who don't lift, the general population. I'm pretty lean, so I don't have those body fat stores to protect my muscle mass. I need to have a high protein diet. I need to continue getting stronger and applying progressive overload in the gym to maintain my muscle, because I'm an advanced lifter. So that's why I don't go aggressive as well, because if I have a super aggressive calorie deficit, yes, I'm going to lose weight, but I'm going to lose strength. I'm going to lose muscle. So I'm not just losing fat now, I'm losing fat and muscle. And that's not good, because it takes ages to build muscle. So I want to prevent muscle going away when I'm dieting. So I like to take the long-term approach. So it's up to you, whatever you want to pursue. You can go fast and aggressive. You can go slow and less aggressive. I just took 200 calories off my maintenance. I stayed there for 5 weeks until it started plateauing a little bit. And then I took another 200 off and did that for 3 more weeks. And that worked a charm. That is so simple that people don't want to hear it because it sounds too easy. And I'm not trying to say fat loss is easy. It's simple, but it's not easy because you have to navigate it through. But I'm disciplined. I've done this before. I know what to expect, so I just did it. And if you're struggling with fat loss, I hope that this helps you decide which path to take. Maybe you go aggressive, maybe you don't. Maybe you are going away on holiday in a month, so you have to be super aggressive. That's fine. Just know what you're getting yourself into when you're trying to lose fat really fast.